Okay, we're good. Shut the fuck up, but all right. So this this is a story about our squad session last night. It was me and Archie, Beard, Pizza was there for one round, and Icy was there for one round. This took course over 2 rounds, and both times we were running APCs. First round was on Scorpo Ras, and we were running two BTR 82s. We had a decent match, nothing too special. Scorpo's a little weird. We basically were relying on the Bradley not going up on that mountain and fucking our whole day up, and fortunately for us it didn't, so we were able to rush the main road, kill both of their strikers early game, move over to the defense, kill a little bit of infantry here and there. And then, by that point we're 20 minutes in, and a call out for the enemy tank pops up on the defense flag. So we bug out.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Thank you for your input, but at this point, there's a guy that we've been noticing in team chat, or at least I've been noticing. I don't think any of us have mentioned him out loud, but normally I would censor names if I was going to put this on YouTube, because I don't want to call people out. I've had a few moments where I was critiquing people in my guides, and I always blur out their stuff, but I feel like his name adds a lot to the story. And I also get the feeling he's like a 15-hour player who's going to quit before he reaches 50.
Sounds about normal.
A man by the name of Viagra and Chill was doing a bit of backseat commanding in team text chat, right? He was demanding people do this,
Text
demanding
chat.
people do that, critiquing everybody's squads. He made a few interesting calls. For example, at one point we only had one defense hab, and that was the only hab on the entire western side of the map. And he made the call that somebody was camping it, so nobody should spawn on it. So
Over text chat.
yeah, it was interesting. Like, I don't know what his next course of action was with no spawns on the entire map if nobody was allowed to spawn there, but you know, you get the idea. He's making callouts impulsively from what he sees in front of him, not thinking about the bigger picture and trying to backseat everyone. At this point, he calls in team chat, "There's a fucking tank here. Our armor needs to get over here and do something." Now the BMP and the tank have not been taken on our team at this point, so it's just us. So I type back, and I say, "We can't kill a tank." To which he starts replying with various comments, you know, questioning our bravery, calling us assholes, calling us idiots, you know. He goes through his little tirade. And
every text keyboard warrior, yes.
yeah,
Oh.
so meanwhile, I go a little bit past the offense objective onto a hill. I'm actually probably going to pull up a map here, and I'll screen share it for you. Give me a sec. Alright, so here we are on Scorpo. This is the Rast lane, however, this one went south. So the two objectives, which are both named the exact same thing, by the way, are here for the defense objective, and here for the offense objective. And we're Russia, US main is here, we're pretty close. So what I do is when the tank gets called out here, coming down this road, we bug out, we go through this tunnel, and I post us on this hill. Because there's no infantry attack at the offense objective, so I can't do shit there. It's not like I'm going to capture it on my own, just going to get killed by AT. And the defense is obviously blocked off by an Abrams. So we post up on this hill, we kill an MRAP, we're looking for lodges, we're trying to get their strikers as they respawn, shooting at a couple helicopters, just harassing them a bit while we are on standby. Somebody takes our tank and starts coming through the tunnel, so we're waiting for that. And at this point I start getting really conflicting information in command chat. You know how it goes? One person's calling it a Bradley. Somebody else is calling it a tank. Somebody starts saying there's a Bradley and a tank. Somebody starts saying there's two tanks, of which there's only one on this layer. So I cannot for the life of me figure out if this thing is a tank or a Bradley.
It's not that, Cap. They just don't know how to call it, right? It's a break.
Tank
right?
is
It's
tracked
a break.
armored vehicle. Yeah.
Okay, but I feel personally attacked.
Look, but you're the one bringing yourself into this, all right? I'm not even talking about the Bulldog incident. Anyway. So at this point, I decide, fuck it. I get pissed because we've been on this hill for like 5 minutes. And I'm not kidding when I say the entire 5 minutes I am direct messaging infantry SLs and trying to piece together this puzzle. Trying to look at respawn timers, trying to remember where the Bradley was, if it could have RTB'd and gotten there in time. And I come to the point where I'm about 60% sure it's a Bradley, and I do not give a fuck anymore. This guy is berating me in team chat. The fucking SLs can't make any decisions that are being annoying, so I say fuck it, and we go back through the tunnel. And at this point, the tank has come out of this tunnel and gone to engage it, and we're right behind the tank. And I figure at this point, if it is a tank, we'll just bail. And if it's a Bradley, we'll help the tank kill it. We go up there. What do we find but a fucking Bradley carcass? And meanwhile, I'm talking to command, and they say, oh yeah, we killed it. Right. Okay, so perfect callouts. 10 out of 10. Amazing. And for the rest of the match, we push with the infantry and take this final flag. And that was the conclusion of Scorpo Ras. It gets better. It gets better over the course for the second match.
Hey, at least they know what the fucking name is. It's a Bradley. They said Bradley, right? They didn't say like warrior or like, oh, fucking this or that, right?
Well, the guy in team chat only said tank. That was the only word he knew. It was command chat that was questionable. I'm not too worried about command chat, right? Like, they were making the usual kind of vague, mistakey callouts, but I'm prepared for that. This is a story about Viagra and chill, Stiff. Because
sorry, this is really important. I forgot. I'm sorry.
The next map gets much better. So we're playing CAF Invasion. We're up, or Blue 4 this time, of course. We decide to take 2 LAVs. Fairly successful early game. We go north on the airport to counter their armor. We kill 2 SPGs. We kill a couple of Logis that were supplying airport, and we're looking for the BMPs and the tank, the 2 main threats. The tank we end up seeing / hearing firing in this general area, so we just kind of chill on the north airport. Our infantry captures it without needing our help, which is always nice. And in the end, when they're all finished, we go and we pick up a full infantry squad, and we're getting ready to dive bomb them onto bridge. As we do this, we discover that the tank is on the bridge, the T-62, which is big trouble, because I want to do our traditional dive bomb on this north thing, but we end up getting away with it. We dodge a couple tank shells. The guy's hilariously bad at aiming. Icy's driving the other APC, and at this point, Icy's just trolling the tank by zigzagging a little. So we go back to main. We grab more ammo, because we need more smoke if we're going to pull this off. And then I take the river all the way up and actually successfully manage the dive bomb while the tank is right here. So as far as APCs against tank go, we are playing it incredibly aggressively, and we somehow managed to get away with it. While I'm doing that, Icy's distracting him on the main road with fucking S moves here, and he's missing every shot. So we're having a pretty good laugh. Now, eventually we capture this, and we get back into the wishy-washy what the fuck command chat callouts. The guy is right here, and he's looking south. And as we start going for a little bit of a flank and trying to get around to hit VCP without having to get fucked up by this tank, he starts his same tirade. There's a tank here. We need armor to engage it. Our tank has died at this point, so it's just us. So we go through the same discussion. That is a tank. I am in an APC. I cannot engage that. Technically, the LAV can pen it, unlike the BTR-82 versus Abrams. Like, if we get a perfect 90-degree rear shot, we can damage the tank and kill its engine. But the thing that hinders that is the fact that we have, 60 rounds apiece? I don't think even if we landed all of our shots into the ass, we would actually take down the full health points of the tank. So we're trying to explain this to the guy. Well, he's just foaming at the mouth, calling tank, you're a pussy, get over here, fucking fight the tank, you're a pussy, over and over, the general. And we get into an interesting situation where player 2 enters the chat, and he starts saying, no, you can penetrate it. And so while we're having our argument, he starts saying that, no, you can penetrate it. I tested it in the firing range. So for those of you at home who don't know, the firing range is not at all an accurate representation of armor pen or armor damage. It's entirely bugged. You can shoot a Bradley ATGM into the side of the tank, no damage. You can shoot tanks with AP, 60% damage where normally it does 25. There's a million bugs with the local server / firing range. And we're trying to explain this to him, all while we're getting around trying to hit VCP. We're having our little team chat argument. And he says, no. You can change the map in the firing range. Doesn't change shit. It's still the local server. It's still all the same bugs. The firing range in a custom server is still accurate. Whatever. The point is, now it's 2v1. Now our team is totally bashing us. Everybody's on board. Everybody wants us to go rush this tank because of this guy's very scientific firing range testing that he's done. where he's concluded that we are in fact capable of destroying that tank, and we are just either not knowledgeable or cowards. And while all of this is going on, we come down here. I start pulling us into this desert here, getting ready to do a quick hit on VCP from the south, suppress it a little, help our infantry up north, or kill Lodgies, still looking for the BMPs because they've been suspiciously silent. And as we're going down this desert, round about here, from here, the T-62 shoots us. So we pull a U-turn. We're in the worst possible position. I immediately dive bomb to the other side of the thing because I think he was slightly north. And Icy's going with me, and he crosses over, and we're desperately trying to escape through this little narrow choke point here, which is really, really challenging. He's shooting, he's missing. We've used all our smokes, engine and turret smokes, and we end up fucking this. This is a hard maneuver, even in like calm circumstances, when I'm just trying to use this bridge because I like it for mine avoidance. And while we're both stressed out, Icy's in the lead. He fucks it up a little bit and hits the building. I tell him to halt there because I don't want him to then slowly creep into the entrance because I'm coming in pretty fast and I want to, but then I hit a rock, slip, nearly fall into the river. Shit's fucked, the tank's coming. Icy goes for a desperate suicidal dash to save my life, and he goes down south into the tank. While I try to get through here, Icy dies right away, I die right away. We're both dead. The T-62 is on the south. Our good friend Viagra and Chill is still kindly informing us that the tank is actually right here. And we mention that we just died to the tank and that he's looking at a fucking BMP, and we're pissed, and it's cost us our life. And at this point, he's being faced with a straight fact. Everything up until this point was at least reasonably subjective. You know, the armor should be here, the armor should be doing something, no, you can pen, no, I've done it here. Like, they kind of have an argument against us, even if it's based off false information. They can be justified in their own eyes. But now, we've proven him wrong. Now we've proven that the many, many, many times he said tank, there has not been a tank. So he's backed into a corner. Like, he could double down, and he could try to insist that it's a tank, but obviously he's incorrect, and nobody's going to believe him. It's just not the right course of action. So, you know, he reaches deep into his pocket. He pulls out his masterful knowledge of the English language, his broad vocabulary, and I think he ultimately ends up going with, "Shut up, bitch," in reply.
That's an appropriate response. I like.
And so we're sitting here dead, listening to the tank go over us, listening to our burning LAVs. The team is entirely against us. Everybody's yelling at us. I'm getting yelled at in command chat now as well as from this guy. Just sitting on our carcasses. The realization pops in that both times, if this guy had just known how to call something out, if he had called out Bradley, or if he had called out BMP, both times we would have gone, engaged, and killed. And the second time it would have saved our lives because we wouldn't have gone on the south end in the armor-heavy area under the assumption that the tank was on the opposite side of the map. And so twice over, he fucked himself up by giving the wrong call-out. He called out something we couldn't destroy, we actively avoided it, and then we learned that his call-out was false, and the whole entire time it was something we could have and probably should have dive-bombed and destroyed. At that point, we all just left. Like, when you're running armor, it's generally a given that no matter how well you do, there's going to be some portion of the team that hates you and blames any game loss on you or blames anything that goes wrong on you. And this was no exception, to the point where we're just like, nah, I'm not sitting here. Normally I'd wait for the respawn timer, get back in, try to push it. Our team is doing decent. Enemy team kind of sucks. But at this point, it's like, nope, we've lost the team. The team is entirely against us. It doesn't matter if we pull off more cool combined arms stuff that, you know, gets them hard that they like to see, like the hot drop on bridge. We could go in there, smokes blaring, giving them smoke screens, shooting everyone we look at, giving them the perfect red carpet approach to the objective at our own risk of our own lives while none of the BMPs or tanks are taken care of, and they'd still hate us. So we just filed out of the server, and the name Viagra and Chill was burned into our minds, and I just figured I'd come in, tell you that story, record it for YouTube. You know, the art of storytelling is dying. We gotta bring it back. And
That's
Squad
fantastic.
Stories episode 1.
That was fantastic.
Gave me a brain aneurysm.
Give me a brain aneurysm. Oh my lord. To think that man will play more than 10 more hours of squad before he gives up and uninstalls.
I just love the confidence. I love that he knew exactly what we needed to be doing. Like, he knew exactly what our armor was capable of. You know, fuck our how many hours we've spent in the SDK and doing private testing and the genuine, like, spreadsheets and pictures of weak points that we have in our armor chats. You know, fuck all that. He knew best. And yet he couldn't identify a BMP from an MBT.